Hey everybody, Sean here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in the Leatherface DLC for Dead by Daylight, grabbing the Adept Cannibal achievement. This is to get a merciless killer rating as the cannibal, only using his unique perks. This one's going to be done from the killer's side. You are going to need to play as the cannibal, aka Leatherface, so make sure you buy him from the in-game store or using the DLC pack. You are going to need to get him to at least level 10 to open up 3 free perk slots. The 3 perks you want to equip and only equip are going to be Knockout. Then you're going to need Barbecue and Chili, and then finally Franklin's Demise. You can do whatever you want for add-ons or offerings. Make sure you leave the 4th perk slot empty if you have it available to you at level 15. Once you have that set, make sure you start up the game, and it's time to try to go for the Merciless. So, Leatherface is basically going to play like a way less clunky version of the Hillbilly. So, you are going to have 2 main weapons. You have your Sledgehammer, which is going to be your basic attack, and then you have your Chainsaw, which is going to be your special attack. Holding left trigger is going to rev up the Chainsaw. If you let it go, you are going to unleash a flurry of Chainsaw waves, which are going to be one-hit moves, so it will down a survivor even at full health. That being said, I recommend just sticking to your basic attack, especially early on in the game, since you need to build up enough chases to make your chaser rating high enough to get the merciless. So for the early game, I recommend just sticking to your Dead by Daylight fundamentals and just using your basic attack. Luckily for you, that the cannibal is going to have some pretty decent movement speed as well as attack range, so make sure you keep that in mind. He's not going to be too clunky to handle. And then just make sure you start racking up the chases, the attacks, and the basic hooks. In all fairness, I actually don't recommend relying too heavily on the chainsaw anyways. The reason for that is Leatherface's perks are going to mostly be built around his basic attack. His first perk, which is going to be Knockout, will slow any survivors who get downed by a basic attack, so they shouldn't crawl away super fast. I only really recommend using the chainsaw if the survivors are going to be pallet looping you. The reason for that is if you hit a downed pallet with the chainsaw, it should break it immediately, having you avoid the pallet stun. As for taking advantage of the other perks, Barbecue and Chili is going to reveal the locations of any survivors nearby once you hook a survivor, so there's going to be no reason to camp and get the camp penalty. The other useful perk is going to be Franklin's Demise. If you happen to hit a survivor with a basic attack, they should drop whatever item they are carrying. Super useful in the late game when you are down to a few survivors and the only way they can heal themselves are using a first aid kit. Again, another reason I recommend using the basic attack over the chainsaw is because that perk only works with basic attacks. So that's going to be the basic gameplay loop. Once you get down into the late game, if you have any survivors who are still giving you trouble, if you have enough hooks on them already and you feel you have enough chases in your chaser category, then it's going to be time to whip out the chainsaw to get some easy downs, especially if they are playing a character who can heal themselves rather easily. Nonetheless, just rely on these basic strategies, and then you should be able to rack up enough kills for the merciless, and then hopefully you have fulfilled all of the other categories as well. Once the game's over, you can check how well you did on the results screen, so make sure you hit right bumper to see what you can and can't improve on, and if you happen to get enough for the merciless killer rating, you should get the achievement. There it is, 20 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.